For me, today's session is the key to my productivity. I have 3 separate companies and I look after my mum for a number of hours during the week. Trying to juggle all the tasks from those 4 areas and a home life is the fuel for a lot of overwhelm and potentially forgetting a few along the way. What to do each day, let alone each hour if I just went through the day as things would come up, would be mind-blowing. I have tried. It doesn't work. I just felt as if I'd missed too many things, was constantly trying to catch up, and was a really good way to procrastinate and waste time on the what next thinking. So I have set days and set times of the day when I focus on certain areas. It doesn't mean I can't be flexible, but I have a good idea of what I am planning to do. If something comes up for one of the areas, say a request from an HR client, then unless it's urgent and has to be done that moment, then I know that I can plan that in to my next HR time. If it's a mentoring client, then I know what times of days and days of the week that I do those on, and I can allocate them for those mentoring calls. I have my key time in the morning, so I plan any content, creative or planning tasks in for then, and so on. Slots throughout the week based on how much time I need to spend on each area. As I said, sometimes something may come up that needs doing outside of the allotted time, but the vast majority of it can be done in the specified slots. I have a slot for admin and finances. I have a weekly meeting each week, but sometimes it's on a Thursday, others a Friday, so my Thursday and Friday mornings can be swapped depending on which day the meeting falls that week. I even have an emergency filter slot, so if something comes up I wasn't expecting, I know I have at least a couple of hours in the week as a buffer, so if another slot is taken up with the emergency, I can transfer what I was going to do to the emergency filter slot. It isn't perfect, and things have to be juggled a bit, but it gives a great framework to start, and a lot more focus through the week without having to think, what am I doing today? I know if it's a Tuesday, then I will be focusing on X or Y. Let's look at some examples. You may have one business, but within there will be different categories of things to do. Perhaps client calls, producing products, marketing, meetings, client visits. There's bound to be some time needed for admin and finance. What categories can you put the tasks under so you can allocate times of the day or slots through the week? It's also good to know how many billable hours you need to work if you are a service company, or how many hours you need for fulfilling orders if you're product-based, so that you can earn the income that you need. If you need 15 billable hours, then make sure you have them allocated into your template schedule. If it's 20 hours fulfilling orders, then make sure that that is in instead. If you only have 10 client hours worth booked in for a week, then spend the other 5 you've allocated finding new customers. Don't forget the hidden times. If you need to write a report after a client meeting, then build in the time for that too. If you need to post the orders, then don't forget the travel time. Alternatively, if you have more than one business, then look at the slots across the week for each of those businesses. Here's an example of what that might look like. Make sure you give the correct balance of hours to each company and the tasks to do within each one. If you work part-time, then make sure all of it fits in within the times that you want to work. If you start earlier in the morning or work later at night, then move the times forwards or backwards. If you can't allocate enough time slots for what you need to do, then you may just have worked out why you were spending your week chasing your tail and feeling overwhelmed. If that's the case, let me know via the Time for Business Growth group, and we will look into it. By categorizing your time, your mind will be able to focus on what it is doing so much easier without having to juggle the tasks and priorities to contend with all through the day. You will feel a lot calmer and in control. Your to-do list will also be easier to identify because they will tie in with the slots that you have for the day. You won't have to consider an admin task if it isn't due for a slot that day. Just book it into the next admin time slot instead, unless it's urgent, of course, and can't wait. You also don't have to spend time planning each day every day because you have an ongoing idea of what you're doing, and you'll be filling in the tasks as you go along. A quick look at the end of the day for what is going on the following day, and you'll be focused on what is needed. Much simpler than having to spend time each day planning for the next, or juggling things on the fly throughout your day. So what are the different time slots that you need? As I mentioned earlier, if you have a problem shoehorning it all in, then drop me a line in the Time for Business Growth group and let's get that sorted. If you found this snippet on time zoning useful, why not download the full More Calm, Less Juggle video course and create your own template diary? Head to amandaholges.co.uk/morecalm and make the difference to how you use your time to benefit you and your business better. Until next time, speak soon.